Good morning. Welcome to Tucson New Thought. We are a Center for Spiritual Evolution, and it is June 3rd, 2018. Such a pleasure to have you here with us this morning on this beautiful, beautiful day. Now, you may be looking around me and thinking, wait, that doesn't really look like Tucson. It doesn't look like any of the places that you've been shooting recently. And the truth is, it's not. I am actually back in LA. I came out to LA at the end of the week and was supposed to have gone back to Tucson yesterday, Saturday, but my plans had to change, so I'm still in LA until tomorrow morning. That doesn't stop us. We are here to celebrate what's good in the world. We are here to create a world that works for everyone. That's our vision here at Tucson New Thought. And we do this through our mission of providing practical tools for spiritual transformation, and therefore we awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. So if you are ready to go along that ride with me, I invite you to simply relax right where you are and take a breath. Let go of everything that has preceded this moment. Let go of everything that you anticipate is to come, and just be right where you are. Just be. Relaxing into this and allowing yourself to simply settle in for these next few minutes of clarity. So we're going to go right over to Via Dia this morning, who have a beautiful healing meditation they're going to offer.
Good morning. We are Via Dia, and today we are singing a mantra called Guru Ram Das. And it is a mantra that's a healing mantra from the Kundalini Yoga tradition. And we just invite you to take a deep breath in, close your eyes if you feel called to, and just allow this mantra to wash over your consciousness and permeate any part of your life that needs healing. Guru
So I'm going to launch right in this morning. Thank you to Via Dia for that beautiful meditation. There's something that's really been on my mind this week, and it's this. What is healing? What is healing? And I started thinking, well, healing, what I've been trained to explain, is that healing is the revealing of this divine creative power that is at the core of every single one of us. There's a place in each and every one of us that has never been touched by outside circumstances. And I like to refer to this thing, this place, as the spiritual blueprint of our lives. And so every time we think that we're off track, every time something happens in our life, we can always relax and go right back to that spiritual blueprint. The roots of New Thought lie in the healing of the physical body. Ultimately, if you go back in history and study how New Thought came to be, it is really in the healing of the physical body, the notion that the mind has control over the body, essentially mind over matter. Now, this is not meant to be a history lesson today, but I do think it is important to know how we got here. The work of mystic healers like Emma Curtis Hopkins and Phineas Parkhurst Quimby, well, their work from the past is being explained today through the science of epigenetics. Now, what is epigenetics? Well, the study of epigenetics is actually the study of changes in the expression of genes that seemingly go beyond the limitations of a genetic code. So we're not looking just at the DNA, we're looking how genes express. And ultimately what epigenetics is telling us is this: we are not destined by our genetics. We're not destined to be anything, we're not destined to express in any particular way by our genetics. Dr. Bruce Lipton is a man who changed my life forever when he spoke at a conference at the Asilomar Conference Grounds in Central California. Many years ago, we used to go there as an organization. The Centers for Spiritual Living used to meet there every summer. I never took more notes than I did in my life. I've never taken more notes than I did that day in his lecture. Now, the basic premise of his work supports one of the ideas, one of the very ideals within the science of mind, which is this. It's expressed in Science Mind's Declaration of Principles. We believe in the healing of the sick through the power of this mind. When I read that, it begs for me this question: what is healing? I've already talked about that, but what is sickness? What is sickness? What is the root cause of sickness? And ultimately what I would say is that sickness is a disbelief in wholeness. And when we disbelieve wholeness, well, then our lives show up in that fashion. There's a sense that there are parts to things. We grow up with this sense that there are parts to things. And when we feel like those parts are disparate and disconnected, well, that's when we experience sickness, feeling apart. Ernest Holmes writes, "It is the practitioner's business to uncover the divinity inherent in every person." When we uncover that divinity, we recognize how we are all interconnected, how each and every one of us is a part of the infinite wholeness. And that's how we heal, by coming back to wholeness. Ernest Holmes also wrote, we leave the field of material medica to do its own work. Our work is done entirely in the field of mind. Without controversy, we work side by side with any doctor the patient may desire. We in the field of mind, the physician in his own field. If this persisted in over a period of years, the two fields will be brought closer together. Now, he wrote that back in the 1920s. And I do believe that this is where we are continuing to go, where the field of science and faith are coming together more and more and more through things like epigenetics. Research is supporting more and more this mind-body connection. But it begs this question: when you are sick and you go to the doctor, have you ever asked your doctor to pray? Think about that. What is your reaction to that? Get clear on that reaction, because that reaction may be an indicator of a belief that is actually detrimental to your health. Now, the doctor may not believe in prayer, that's fine, and it may not be an appropriate place to be, but prayer is the use of the mind. What we call spiritual mind treatment, simply affirmative prayer. It is the use of the mind for the purpose of creating change in our physical world. So the first step in healing is this: change your mind. So there are three major keys, mental keys, in healing. And I will admit freely, I have taken this and I've encapsulated, they've been encapsulated by my mentor, Dr. James Mellon. But what I have come to realize is that these three things can really change everything. It's this: love only, forgive everything, and remember who you are. It has become my experience that allowing these to be primary ideas in my mind, my experience of life has gotten better. I have experienced profound healing because of the intentional expression of love. But let's start at the end. Remember who you are. You are the center and circumference of your being. You are the very essence of Godness as you. There is no separation between you and this divine creative energy. The infinite nature of the divine creative energy is you. It's right at the core of your being. You can do all that it does. And if you don't believe you can, well, that's the limitation that you've placed on yourself. And it's simply working perfectly. Well, that said, there is nothing and no one, there's nothing outside, there's no one outside of ourselves who can wrong us. Now, this is a hard pill to swallow for many people. What we perceive as wrong is only that, perception. When we take control of our perception, we get to decide how we move forward. And that's how I choose personally to live in personal responsibility. So what it means is this: let us live in forgiveness. That's part two. When we know who we are and we take personal responsibility for everything, well, then we can live in a place of forgiveness for everyone and everything that we feel may have wronged us, because that wronging is only in our perception. Now, infinite forgiveness does not mean to forget. I'm not saying forget. As Maya Angelou says, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. When someone shows you who they are, believe them, but that's actually a whole other talk. Try forgiveness in your life. Try forgiveness if for no other reason, simply because it's a loving act. It is an ultimate act of love to be forgiving. And if we are going to be love only, then we need to be in a place of infinite forgiveness. When we forgive, we are left with nothing other than love. So can you love only? Can you love only? For many, that seems to be a big challenge. It's very easy to, well, let's face it, I'm in LA. It's very easy to get out onto the roads and drive around in notorious Los Angeles traffic to allow ourselves to get to that place of anger and disgust with everyone around us who are all idiots, right? Everybody around us is an idiot. Well, that's not a loving, harmonious mindset. I have found that when I change my mindset out in the traffic of Los Angeles, well, then everything flows easily and effortlessly. Love only does not mean being a doormat. Being a doormat actually may indicate that there is a lack of self-love. If you don't love yourself, that's not love only. And we experience that mindset in our world. Love only, forgive everything, and remember who you are. These are the three keys to a healing consciousness. Live a life with these keys at the forefront of our minds, and we experience a life of change. At the end of the day, the mind and the body are connected. So what we're talking about is training the mind to let these be at the forefront. When we train the mind to let these be at the forefront, well, everything changes. Clarity of mind means clarity of body. Ease of mind means ease of body. Strength in mind means strength in body. And that's how we heal. Namaste. So thank you for joining me here this morning. I'm going to invite you to take out whatever it is you're going to offer the center this morning in terms of a financial commitment, your investment in the vision, your treasure being shared with this center in an act of conscious giving. And if that means that you're going to click on this, you're going to click on the link in the description field here on Facebook or on YouTube or wherever you're watching this on our website, I encourage you to give deliberately and freely from your heart so that we can continue to expand the vision of this center and grow what it is to create a world that works for everyone. I want to let you know that we are still in negotiations for a space in Tucson that has not ended yet. I can't announce anything because there's nothing yet to announce, but we're in the process of actually having that unfold, and I think that we'll have something to announce very soon. But we can only do this with your support. We can only do this with financial support from everyone out there who's watching our live webcast. Your support makes a difference to this center and the work we can do in this world. So I encourage you to give, and I'm so grateful for all that you do give, whether it's $2 or $2 million. I'm happy to accept, and I'm grateful for it. So to wrap up our time here today, I first of all want to say thank you. Thank you for being here with us. I want to say thank you to my father, Don Zenz, for helping me out in shooting this in the park today. And I want to thank also Via Dia for that beautiful healing meditation. So let's just relax right where we are as we close with the spiritual mind treatment. Knowing that right here and right now, there's only one thing going on. It's a divine creative energy. It is infinite, it is eternal, and it is who each and every one of us is. We are each of us a beautiful, beautiful part of, expression of, living the wholeness of this divine creative energy as ourselves. We are living its life as our own. Our decisions, our actions are all part of this infinite whole. And I know that today, we each of us choose more clearly love only, forgiveness for everything, and to live in this constant reminder of who we are. This is the truth. And I simply relax into it and allow the perfect unfoldment of this truth to manifest itself. In deep gratitude for this, I simply let it be. As together we say, and so it is. Thank you for joining me here today. I look forward to seeing you again next week. Have a great day. Namaste.